What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, getting down with Fresh Out. You know how we do it over here, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, represent, or go to freshoutseries.com and pick you up some merch, man. You know, because of you guys, we've been doing this for a decade now, bringing you dope content, and I'm here with my man,
Avi Deano Shalem.
You know,
What's
we do
up,
it.
Fresh Out?
I don't want to mess this man's name up, so I'll let him do the introduction.
Respect giving, family.
And we're talking about the whole Israel-Hamas conflict, and what is the end game, and is there any solutions to it? Because we were just talking off camera about why hasn't any of these other Arab nations allowed for any of the Palestinians to come into their countries.
I'll tell you why.
We're going to get into it, you guys, and this isn't no college bullshit or professor bullshit. This is the real right here. My man knows the real.
Not only do I know the real, I say what I mean and mean what I say. I'm famous for that. I'm known for that. I keep it gully 1,000%. Look, why have not any Arab countries opened up their borders? Because, man, they just rattle their sabers. They force their people out onto the street once in a while to have these fake-ass demonstrations, okay? But there's no love for the Palestinians. If there was, okay, Iran, who is not an Arab country, it's Persia, but they're funding them. They would have sent some airplanes. Israel definitely would have let them land their airplanes, and they would have taken a few 100,000 Palestinians back there until stuff chills out. Same with all the other countries. Why? Because when the Arabs lost the Six-Day War, and before that, the War of Independence, okay, a country called Kuwait took in tons and tons and tons of Palestinian people. And then they kicked them out. They haven't been allowed since then.
Why they kick them out?
I'll tell you why. After that, first, let me say, a country called Jordan and a country called Lebanon both took in tons of Palestinian people, kicked them out, except for they got some refugee camps where they've been living for over 10 years. Why? Why? Okay, because the Palestinians have been used and abused and let themselves be used and abused. They've tripped themselves up throughout the history of the modern state of Israel. They've made mistake after mistake. They have bought into a death culture, okay? Golda Meir, one of our prime ministers, said, there will be peace when Arab parents love their children as much as they love war. Because their death cult with 72 virgins waiting for you in heaven, okay? Literally, they tell them, blow yourself up because there's 72 virgins waiting for you in heaven. Their fanaticism about refusing to recognize our right to existence, okay? It's not a joke. So they kicked them out because they tried to take over Kuwait, okay? They're not good house guests, okay? We, in the Middle East, we have our Abrahamic tent open. Means you're welcome. It's a part of our culture to be hospitable, to let you in, to feed you, to make you feel like you're not a pain in the ass as a house guest. Except for they friggin' overstay their welcome, man. Listen to me. There's over 2 million. Again, Israel, total population 9 million. There's over 2 million Israeli Arabs. When you poll Israeli Arabs, what country in the Middle East would you live in? They all say the same thing. Again, this is a stat, Jack. They say Israel, only Israel. Israeli Muslim Arabs. Why? Because Israeli Muslim Arabs are in our government. They're in our army if they want to be. They're free. Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East, always has been. Israel recognizes gay marriage. So you can walk hand in hand down the street in Tel Aviv, okay? For all you LGBTQ morons, okay? Try doing that. There is an open, written death sentence on homosexuality. Forget about the BGTQ. That's way out of left field for them. Okay? So try your wokeness over there. There's a death sentence, okay? Why have primarily all the Palestinian Christians left Gaza and the West Bank? Why? Because there is zero religious tolerance for other belief systems over there. So that's why they kicked them out, because of extremism like that. There's people, these fake-ass, woke-ass college kids, which know nothing about what they're talking about, who have an attention span of 35 seconds and are running around Free Palestine with all these bullshit demonstrations. Man, you know not a thing about what you're saying. By the way, Mark Lamont Hill, you fake-ass, fraud-ass Uncle Tom, you know, I want to debate you openly on a fair forum, okay? I hate Uncle Tom
Now,
brothers.
and also,
Yes.
you know, maybe break down the difference between Palestinians and Hamas, because people, they're intertwined.
Okay, they should be intertwined. Why? Because Hamas has been in control. They've been the ruling government for 17 years.
Okay.
With no election. So when people...
with no election?
With no elections, brother, do you know what they did to the Fatah party who was in charge? First, Fatah and Hamas took over for them. They took the people who were running the government before Hamas, the day they took over, they took them to the tallest buildings and they threw them off the buildings. It's a fact, Jack. Look it up. Okay, there's been zero elections. Listen to me. Hamas equals zero human rights equals zero freedom. Hamas equals zero rights for women. 3 years ago, the Palestinians under Hamas came up with a law for women that if you were a single woman and you wanted to travel outside of Palestine, let's say you wanted to go to see your cousin in New York and you were Palestinian, okay? Your auntie in Berlin, you needed permission from the oldest male in your family to travel if you were a female, okay? So rape is a part of the institution, okay, under Islamist law. There's zero human rights. You can't be an artist with creative freedom. Zero. They're going to hang you. You cannot be a political dissenter. All the Christians, all the Arab Palestinian Christians have left there. They're all living in Detroit or San Francisco or Israel. They love Israel.
So literally, when you hear about like the Palestinian government,
It's Hamas.
It's basically Hamas. So
Listen,
therefore,
man, listen, let me say something. They got a terrible history of crying and whining, okay? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You do what you did to us, you come in there, and just like when 9/11 happened, people don't remember because these college kids have zero capacity to study anything. They gave out sweets on the streets of Palestine when 9/11 happened. Well, when October 7th happened, they did the same thing. In Gaza City, they were giving out, horns were honking, they were celebrating. They literally took naked 17-year-old Israeli girls who they had just raped and killed and dragged their body down the street. That's not some far-out concept. Don't ask me for the proof, man. Everyone knows the pictures of it. What are you talking about? They kidnapped 3-year-old babies, 2-year-old babies. They kidnapped them as hostages. Hamas equals zero human rights. On top of that, I'm a true revolutionary freedom fighter. I've been to prison for my beliefs, okay? I read. I know George Jackson, okay? I read. I know Malcolm. Okay. I'm a true revolutionary. A revolutionary does not advocate rape. He does not advocate using human shields. So yeah, it's war, y'all. It's war. They came in, killed, and raped. We gotta blow them up. Listen, shut the fuck up about where's the proof. Haven't you seen enough tunnels in that hospital? And that hospital that got the bomb in it, it was proven that Islamic Jihad sent a rocket which malfunctioned, which is going to happen all the time when you use shitty-ass rocket launchers. They're always going to go off track, and 1 out of every 15 is going to do that. So they hide behind the skirts of their population. They're professional criers, okay? I think the same 5 guys are in every fucking video they have. They're always front runners. They start shit and we finish it, just like now. just like now. Okay, my nieces and nephews are crawling on their bellies in the desert. We don't want that. Israel is it's an amazing country. It's so free. You can be any religion. You can be any color. Do you know how many black people are in our army, our tiny army? 10%.
Now, what do you think about Benjamin Netanyahu?
I don't like him. He's a professional asshole politician. He's out of here. This happened on his watch. He was caught with his pants down. Except for we're a free country. Listen, we're not doing it now because we got a war to fight. Israelis, man, again, college kids, we're fighting for our right to live. Talk that genocide shit to someone else. Come see me if you want to talk about eradicating us. You feel me? Okay? So it's not some far out theory. So yeah, when we see look, civilians always die in war. You want to know the truth? People are going to go ape shit about this. Okay? Statistically, Blinken, was that his name, the Secretary of State? Who should be tried for being a Jew hater? Okay? Blinken, statistically, Israel is doing better at keeping civilian deaths down than anyone else. Historically, there are numbers about this stuff. People don't want to hear it. What's the difference? Man, y'all was crying on the internet the other day about a few hundred fucking guys with their shirts off in their underwear on the streets. What the hell are you talking about, man? We fighting a war. Do you know in American prison, okay, you want to go anywhere, you're showing your asshole to the prison guards, okay? There's any kind of altercation, okay, you're in your underwear instantly, and if you go to solitary, half the time they're throwing you in there buck naked. What the hell are you talking about? You go institution to institution in an American prison, okay? Every institution you're getting buck-ass naked. Yeah. You're checking. So what are you talking about? These guys advocate for human bombs. They blow. Of course they had their shirts off in their underwear. We just captured those like rats coming out of a tunnel. We started flooding those asshole tunnels. By the way, Hamas, you built all those luxury tunnels with air conditioning. Why didn't y'all build any bomb shelters for your people, man? Huh? Because Hamas is so extreme that they want civilian deaths. That's why they hide behind grandma's skirt. Because they want that. Because it's the only thing keep them around for another day is the evening news. And stupid ass North Americans and Europeans, you're outraged because a few hundred guys that just came scurrying out of a tunnel when we flooded it, okay, and we drew down on them, okay? Man, they are surrendering in mass right now. We have more Hamas prisoners of war than we know what to do with right now. We don't even need their intel, it's so many. Why? Because they know, again, they were brainwashed. The average Hamas guy, okay, he's an extremist, but he was just a regular person a couple of years ago. By the way, I get along with Palestinians most of the time because they're people like anyone else. It's just the extremist stuff times 1,000.
So they almost are, you're saying, in other words, brought up with the hate where they don't want a peace. They don't want to sit down. This is something like they're not happy until every Jew's gone.
It's in there. Listen, Israel's right to exist is not accepted by the Palestinians. When I say the Palestinians, they chose Hamas. Hamas has been there. They haven't. If they don't like Hamas,
should run them out.
They should have the balls to run them out. Okay? Don't be professional criers, because on October 7th and 8th, y'all was celebrating on the streets, giving out sweets. Now y'all are crying. Okay? Happens all the time. The Yom Kippur War, after the 6-Day War, again, we were sleeping. We almost lost that one. Yom Kippur is our holiest day. It's our day of atonement. We fast on Yom Kippur. We believe that God is going to write the next chapter in our lives on that day. So look at it like this. God's either going to seal the book of life on you and you're good to go, or you're not too good to go, okay? So that's our holiest day. So we were sleeping on that day. Fast day. We couldn't believe, because traditionally in war you don't do that, except for all the Arabs did it also in 1972. They attacked us on Yom Kippur. It's not the only time Israel was sleeping on October 7th. We're human, and we got caught sleeping horribly this time, but we nearly lost our country on the Yom Kippur War. That was the closest we came, okay? But we won. We rallied together. Again, there's tiny people, but we know how to materialize, okay, how to get mobile real quick, okay? Because all our boys and girls are in the army, okay? So mobilizing, there's 100% return rate right now to Israel of IDF soldiers that are living in the United States, in Canada, in Europe, in Spain, in Portugal, in Mexico, from all over the world, okay? There's Mexican Jews, there's Chinese Jews, people, everything, okay? There's Ethiopian Jews, the Falashas, okay? Everyone who wasn't in the country is 100% return rate, returned to Israel. My sister D on Monday is moving back to Israel from New York City. My sister D, okay? People say, she crazy? She what? My sister D, my 3 nieces, what's up girls, I love you. My 3 nieces raised in New York all volunteered and moved to Israel voluntarily when they were 18 years old. And they're still there. We don't run. We run back to the motherland because we're not losing it again. Again, we're tired. We're a tiny, tiny people. When I say 9 million, okay? Again, I've given you the numbers. 2 million Arabs, 1 million others, okay? So basically 6 million Israeli Jews, okay? A large number of that are going to be children, old people, handicapped people, okay? So it's the same core group of people fighting war after war. I was raised by ghosts. My name is named after never again, remembering, never forget, okay? Let me tell you a story, man. Let me tell you a story about my auntie. She's my primary ghost. By the way, there's a documentary on my life and career called Raised by Ghosts. You can go to raisedbyghoststhemovie.com. Let me tell you about my auntie. So my father's whole family killed, murdered, right? Okay, so he ended up in a concentration camp, okay, with his mom and his little sister, who was 3 and 4 at that time, okay? So they're all naked, you know, men, women, they're all naked, their heads are all shaved. They'd been, some of them 3 days, some of them a week, some of them 2 weeks. We were transported on cattle cars, on horse cars, okay, on the railroad. So thousands of them died along the way, not given any water. Anyway, we make it to the concentration camp, mothers and sons naked in front of each other, head shaved off. There's one line here, there's one line here. The one line here is you're still useful and young enough to live, we're gonna work you to death. So my father and his little sister, about 3 years old, are on the we're gonna work you to death line. Mama is on the other line, okay? Mama is supposedly going to take a shower to get deloused, the Nazis are saying, okay? My auntie, Zichron L'Bracha, may your name be remembered in blessings. My auntie, typical little girl, mommy, 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 because she sees her mom a few feet away. The Nazi prison guard, concentration camp guard said, you want your mom? Okay, go with her. My father didn't know what he was watching them, but they walked into a cyanide gas shower and never walked out. So when I say I was raised by ghosts, it's people like my auntie, okay, murdered at 3 or 4 years old. You understand? So we've been dealing with that, okay? So when Harvard professors want to get intellectual about people calling for mass genocide of Jews. By the way, that's another term. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. You people are talking about genocide of the Palestinians? Really, 17,000 people? You calling that genocide? Listen to me. Their birth rate is one of the highest in the world. Literally ask them why. Literally ask them why. A mother, a Palestinian mother, an average one, will tell you why. It's on the internet. Look it up. because she needs to raise more martyrs. You see? So they love death. They're choosing it. They're choosing the cult of death. Why would you tell a young man who's 16 years old that he's going to get 72 virgins in heaven if he blows himself up in a restaurant? So, genocide. Y'all are ridiculous. Listen to me. People, young people especially, they're discovering war for the first time with their 10-minute attention span, and they are freaking out about the weirdest thing. Oh, this is genocide. No, it's not. We're literally risking our soldiers' life. Our soldiers are fighting a ground war much more than they would be if we could blow them to smithereens. There would be no Hamas. There would be no, we've got the best Air Force in the world. Are you kidding me? Okay, so y'all are freaking out about a couple of hundred guys in their underwear? Fighter-age men? Like, what are you talking about?
They have no idea. You go to prison, they're going to be looking all up in your ass.
All up in your ass.
And like you said, every time, as soon as you get off the bus, strip.
Every time.
Everybody's butt naked, 50 dudes,
lift that
dudes,
ball sack.
Ball sack, open your mouth, lift your feet up.
Every time.
You know what I mean?
Go on a visit. Go on a visit. Someone come to visit you, you're doing that shit too on your way back from the visit.
Yeah, a lot of them punk asses, man, they never been through nothing. They're so busy worried about their hair color, but they talking about all this high-powered shit, but they know nothing about what a real conflict or having to really step into the fire.
Or a real freedom fighter, or a real revolutionary is. Israel is our aboriginal homeland of Judea. Okay, in the Quran, in the Muslim holy book, it calls the Jews the people of Israel. In the Quran, okay? Again, listen, y'all can, 1,000 years before there was Islam, there was Judaism. Okay, the Prophet Muhammad wanted to be accepted as the Jewish Messiah, as the next one. So they prayed towards Jerusalem, and they prayed like the Jews did 3 times a day. Okay, so he said, I have a perfected version of Judaism. So when the Jews did not accept Muhammad as their Messiah, that's why he turned his back to them, and they pray the other way from us. Okay. East meets west, man. And now they pray 5 times a day. Okay? So that's the difference. That's the difference. Genetically, we're both Semitic people. They don't use that term anymore because, again, they want to cement the false narrative that we're white European colonialists. Jews are Semites. And we keep it gully. If you want to root for an underdog, man, why are you not rooting for us? 500 million people sworn to our eradication against 9 million people.
Hey, Big Herc 916, my man Avi, fresh out.